Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Jesus, that might be a little bit loud, but hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Minor Ryan. This is an all quests easy fighter speedrun. Almost said all boss. All quests easy fighter run for Dungeons and Dragons Heroes. When I recorded this, I had no commentary because girlfriend was sitting next to me. I probably could have done commentary because you're just playing video games, but I just wanted to respect her time because, you know. Plus, I can always just do it this way. I've got another speedrun that's going to be like this. But anyway, you notice that there are, except for the final time, there are no time in the splits there. There's nothing there. And that is because the original run, the 138 run that I've still got to go update, that has now been considered invalid. Why is it considered invalid? Well, you can kind of see at the bottom of the splits there, something that says bring keys to Rick. Now, that is a new split. And that's something that was done in the last run, but when I went back to go look for bringing the Jeweled Scepters, which we'll see later on in the run, there's 4 Jeweled Scepters. I'm going to go get them all. The first 3 of them, you've got to go back to Rick, so that way he gives you the next item to unlock, or key or whatever to get into the next area to go get the next Jeweled Scepter. In the 138 run that is currently, which will be updated soon, and the run that I did for that, I didn't do any of that. I didn't go back to Rick, I just went straight through to each area afterwards. And it's something I actually need to research and see if we can just do that and can go back and forth between Rick a few times. Because if it's just timing different, if that's what it is, if it's just a matter of different timing, then it's not an issue. But as for right now, since I'm the only runner, I feel like that's how it should be. So that's not how it should be. We should be going back and forth between Rick and the next areas. Anyway, talking about the actual run, right now, for the first 5 or so minutes, we're just running around. There's not really much going on, other than a shop coming up. So right here at the start of the run, I pick up 2 potions at the start there, very integral. We're going to dupe those later on. Excuse me. I'm just using Ever Pursuit here over and over and over again to get through these areas quickly. And I'm going to go down these stairs coming up, and we're going to go talk. We're going to see Vasek again. This guy the old guy we just talked to, we're going to buy some items off him. We're going to quickly spawn in another character to duplicate a raised amulet. That's what it's called. I'm going to duplicate, as you see there, the weird circle at the top. Actually, I haven't seen that before, so I might make it short on that. But we spawn that character in, and we're going to go into their menu, and we're going to give player 1, which is the red circle, the fighter there, we're going to give him the a raised amulet. We're going to sell both of them to Vasek here, and use the money we get from that to buy 2 rods of fire and then a bunch of will potions, which is just mana potions basically. So here, just going to do a real quick shop. I'll also sell the fire ore and 19 out of 20 of the throwing daggers. They're completely useless in this run for the fighter. They're pretty much useless for all of them, so slow shop here. I buy the rod of fire. I just didn't buy a second one, which is interesting, which is what I should have done. But otherwise, I got the rod of fire, so I can do it later. So this run's actually going to be a little bit slow, so I could probably get like a 136 or 137 easily just by optimizing this run. And yeah, we're once again just running back and forth. The first quest is coming up here. I think I bring them in. Here we go. I bring the map up. So if you're playing on a controller, you just press in R3, I think it is. Your right stick, you just press that in, and it brings the map up, and you can just click it in again to prop back down. So I just double check that there, so I could make sure I'm going to the right quest area, or going for the right quest. So just up here, we're going to get the first soul shard. So yeah. The main reason for this is just purely because of the Jeweled Scepters I mentioned. Maybe down the line, if I manage to get more people to speedrun this game, we can maybe look into finding all the quests and saying this is what the quests are. As long as you do this part of the quest, you can just continue on with the game. And then from there we just say, well, okay, you've got the Jeweled Scepter, you don't have to go back to Rick. But for now, that's how I'm doing it. We're going back and forth between the area where you get the Jeweled Scepter from and going back to Rick. It's not a huge deal, and it's not a huge part of the run, but to me, just so we show the end result of getting the like we see the cutscene of going back to Rick and going like, hey, we're playing the game. There's certain quests when we don't do that because the quest is just considered complete as soon as we do certain things. You'll see later on with a I forget the name of the skull, but there's a horn skull quest. We gotta take the horn skull back to one of the planetarium areas, and then once we take it back to the planetarium area, we can go back to the guy who gave us the quest, and he will give us a little cutscene, but it's not necessary for the completion of the quest. The quest is just complete from that point onwards. His second quest here, Ankh of Evenir. Either in this run or the next run, I do another commentary on, which is the Rogue. I forget to split. I'm pretty sure it's the Rogue one. The Rogue one, I was real tired, so it's a really bad run, to be honest. But I'll upload it anyway, just so I've got a base run to start with and build upon. So once again, just running around. That trap there, that was the sole reason we sold all of but one of the throwing knives. All the other characters have other means, other than the cleric, have other means of destroying those barrels without using knives. So I grab the Ankh of Evenir, that's another split there, that's another quest done. Now we have to take the Ankh of Evenir, use it to open that door, and go find Vasek. And that is the next quest. Once again, just running from point A to point B, it's pretty much just around the corner. One thing I'm considering doing is all soul shards run. Oh, I get stuck here as well, this is really bad. But like I said, this run isn't that good. It's alright, but it's not that good. And just off to the right there where we just passed, I believe, there's another soul shard there. So if I want to do a all 20 soul shards run, that's something I'm considering just for YouTube. That'd be quite fun to do, I reckon. Just some inspiration I've taken from one of my favourite speedrunners, Hypno Shark, how he does various different things on CTR. Kind of want to do that with Dungeons & Dragons Heroes. Just like, oh, yeah, I could do a run with this, even with cricket speedruns, like Cricket 2007, or if I did a speedrun of winning the World Championship with Canada, like one of the worst teams in the game. That'd be great. So I could consider something like that, do a soul shard speedrun. There's a couple of, in the planetarium areas, there's a couple spots where I can use a couple unique strategies to get the soul shard really quickly. So we found Vasek. He unfortunately is shot dead on the spot there by some hobgoblins. We don't avenge him, we just say, whatever, we keep running. Gonna be doing an item dupe here. Item dupes vary between characters. For the fighter, we're aiming to dupe enough potions to cover for basically just for every pursuit. We're also looking, so I bring in a new character there. Excuse me, I've already had the character loaded up. Sorry, I completely forgot to mention this, but you'll see in the four corners I have the controllers basically preloaded in. Don't worry, nothing's going wrong. That's just the game lagging. So there I've already given over one Raised Dead Amulet because we need them just in case something goes wrong. And there's a particular couple boss fights that we abuse those free deaths basically. So I think we end up about 20, about 5 to 6 health potions, 20 will potions. The skeleton keys, they are important, but we don't dupe them. We do need them later on for the Horn Skull quest. Oh, I should have mentioned that earlier, I apologise. But for now the big part is just duplicating the Rods of Fire. I actually over-duplicated the amount that I had here, because the Rods of Fire and some Raised Dead Amulets as well, but not too many, we don't need to worry too much about them. The Rods of Fire, we duplicate like 30 of them. And it's more or less just a safety thing. Like we could probably only duplicate to 24. So we got up to 8 and then we do another couple item dupes. I think I do right up to 40 here, which is too much. We don't need 40 Rods of Fire. Although, admittedly, they do become quite handy in a particular little mini boss fight later on. You see there, I've duplicated. I believe I saved. If I didn't, that was very silly. But I believe I did. I'm just not paying 100% attention to that. And this is the Bullet boss fight. All quests run. Bullet is completely and utterly useless. We don't care about him. And all we're waiting for is this, which is listening for Bullet to roar and charge us. And we're going to skip Bullet here by doing a door hop. Door hopping is just basically abusing the way characters are spawned in, specifically on the Xbox 360 version of this game, which is like a specially emulated version of the game so that people on the Xbox 360 can play. But you see there, we use Bullet to push us in between those rocks, in between that gap to the rocks, I should say. And then you see I'm just going to spawn in new characters, go up, around, and over. And this Bullet skip can be quite finicky. in a weird way, you could, like, I could already be out of this area by now if the game was being really nice to me. But this is the usual method. This is the most consistent method of door hopping through Bullet. And yeah, this happens often as well, where we spawn off in the wrong direction. There I just decided to try and run down and got lucky. Again, this is a little slow. Could be easily improved upon, but there we go. At that point, I just know that I can spawn another character, have them run down, and I'm guaranteed to get out of the area. So that was a Bullet boss fight. It was a bit slow. Could have been a lot better, but you know, that's a lot better than some of the other ones I've had in the past. Like, Bullet can be a right pain in the bum to skip. And for anyone that's keen, by the way, if you want to watch me fight Bullet, there's an all bosses category. If you look in the description of this video, there'll be a playlist for D&D Hero Speedruns. You just go in there and go find all bosses run. Or you can go on speedrun.com. My profile link is also down in the description. I'm taking forever here to, for some reason, I think I had an issue with my splits or something. For some reason, yeah, I had to deal with that quickly, and so that's why I was standing there forever. But yeah, if you want to go check out more runs, playlist is down below. If you want to check out, particularly if you want to see me go fight Bullet, doing all bosses run, again, playlist down below, or you can go click on the Speedrun profile and go find the current, my current PBs or world record, I guess. I mean, I'm the only runner, so world record's a bit antiquated. But if you want to go watch some all bosses runs, be sure to go do that. And while you're at it, while you're down there, be sure to go ahead and like and subscribe. Comment as well, like if you have played D&D as a kid, if you played D&D Heroes as a kid, comment below what your favorite character is, which is your favorite hero, or even just play D&D in general. Like, tell me what's your favorite class, like what do you like to play as? Let me know down below. Anyway, we're basically through the swamp area. This area is just running from point A to point B. There's not much to say. There is a soul shard in this area, so again, if I did a soul shard run, could do that. And another thing, a glowy %, you know, because, you know, basically make a joke about feds, but that'd be another thing to potentially do. There's a lot of monsters that are like the pack leader, I guess you could call them. They all glow, and it's just like one or two bosses in each area that do that. I want monsters. They're not bosses. They're not that hard to be. They're just slightly stronger than the other monsters. Alright, what we're doing here specifically is we are killing all the trolls in the area to complete 2 quests at once. One quest we're completing, as you see on the splits, we're finding the Crimson Scar gang. If we just wanted to do that, we go into the Dragon's Tankard, I believe it's called. It's just back down to the left of the direction we're facing below, like the bottom left of the area from the direction we're facing. But what they'll ask us to, before they give us the Great Hall key to get into the Great Hall and go find the treasury key, as you can see from the splits again, that'll be coming up. They'll ask us to come back out and kill the trolls. So you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone and kill the trolls first. I believe I used to do this the other way around, where I'd go find the Crimson Scar gang first. For some reason there I try to pick up their mana potion. It's just a complete waste of time. It takes too long. For some reason the game won't let you hit it unless you just, like, stick to the stall there for a couple seconds. Here we're in the Dragon's Tankard. And this is the Crimson Scar gang. As you can hear that. If you hear that audio cue once you've killed all those trolls, that means you've succeeded. If not, you've got to go kill all of them again, and that's run dead. I mean, if you want a easy way to get XP while you're playing D&D Heroes on a casual playthrough, you can basically do this. You can't continuously duplicate the trolls, unfortunately, which would be cool, but you can't. You can only do it once, but if you want to do it this way, where you kill the trolls, go speak to these guys, intentionally leave 1 troll alive, of course. You go talk to these guys and then go back out and kill the trolls again. There's some free XP for you. The trolls aren't hard to kill. They're weak to poison and fire, so that's why we use the Rods of Fire, by the way, because they're weak to it. Also, Rods of Fire is our best way of dealing damage at this point in the game. Anyway, as I mentioned before, we have just entered the Great Hall. We've got the Great Hall key from the Crimson Scar gang. Entering the Great Hall. That's another area we go from point A to point B. This area is a little finicky, but it's more or less the same. You just run around and dodge enemies. There is 1 troll at the end of this little front area that we've got to pay attention to, and that's pretty much it. By the way, these trolls are all different, as you just saw. They like to charge. And when I say we're going to pay attention to this troll just coming up, it's because he likes to charge. See, you can see he's backing up the charge. So we just have a Rod of Fire to guarantee that he takes an extra couple seconds to back up again and charge. And then we ever pursue and keep moving. People that have played this game before also note that there's that little furnace that back there that's got a couple of items. Fun fact, through a speedrunning method called animation cancelling, which you'll see me use a lot. So every time you see that slow action menu come up, just below the health bar and all that, that's me cancelling an animation or trying to cancel an animation of some sort. By the way, pick up the treasury key here. We're going to use a method of saving and reloading. And I save over the bullet save because I don't need it anymore. We're going to save and reload back at the start of the area. Whenever you enter an area, the game kind of like saves your position at whichever point you entered that area from. So if you save and load further in the area, you'll get loaded back at the start of the area. So since we're going from point A to point B in the Great Hall, and then point A is the entrance to the Great Hall, when you get back there nice and quick, we just save and load, go straight back to that area. Nice and safe, nice and fast. Now, this is where things change a little bit. This is what I was talking about at the start of the run. See, the bring keys to the Rick, that's a new split. So as soon as I go into the area, I've decided that that's where we split, because you don't get a specific like little text box. You've noticed that when you complete the quest in this game, a little text box pops up. It doesn't always mean that you have completed a quest when that happens. Most of the time it does, but sometimes it'll just be telling you something. So sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. So I've decided that when we come back to Rick, the cutscene's triggered as soon as you enter the doorway and accept the little pop-up to say, are you sure you want to enter? So we just split there. That's how I split. That's how I've decided to do it. So Rick's just lamenting, like, oh my goodness, a new adventurer, you know, hi, how you doing? I've got a bunch of things I'd like you to go do for me, because I'm totally not the evil final boss, and don't need you to do these things so I can regain my old power and fight you at the end. But he's basically just telling us to go find the Jeweled Scepters so we can open up the access to the Planar Gem areas, or to the main hub area for the Planar Gem areas. And we're just going to go grab all those scepters that you can see in this splits there. Go grab one, go back to Rick, grab the second one, go back to Rick, grab the third one, go back to Rick, and then we go into the dungeon area.
Find that scepter and bring it to me here before we go any further. What's your pleasure?
One thing to note about this first Jeweled Scepter area is that we're going to go enter through, we're going to go enter through the main entrance area of the treasury. Used to go straight to the right there, that door we just passed, used to go door hop into there. But, that is not a viable option. That door hop is incredibly difficult to do and incredibly specific, and it just wastes too much time. We've got about an hour and 40 odd run speedrun here. So, sorry, about an hour 40 odd hour run time here. So, I mean, this runs an hour and 38 something from memory. Over the course of an hour and 38 minutes, something like that is really not worth it. Plus allows us easy access to the Time of the Pupil, which we're going to need to unlock Avid Pursuit 2, which makes us faster and increases the duration of Avid Pursuit. So, really handy to have. First Jeweled Scepter here. Now, in the All Bosses category, I believe. No, excuse me, in the Xbox Original category. What we do here is, instead of doing all this and going out the back, this back door that we would have usually door hopped into, what we would have done is saved and loaded. Just gone back to the start of the area, and we would have used a warp stone to go back to Rick. And now we just go open up that spot. We go hit that lever, open up this door, and just head back out. It's a little bit safer. You have to be careful with the enemies there, but they're not too bad to deal with usually. That one was pretty bad, but usually they're not too hard. So there's as you can see there, Rick Jeweled Scepter 1, and then we've got an item dupe here of the Time of the Pupil we just grabbed. So we're going to duplicate 8 of them for Avid Pursuit, and then I believe I saved to keep a hold of them for later. I'm not 100% certain. We have to for the Rogue, and actually for all the other characters we have to make sure we do a separate save here. That way we do not accidentally get rid of the times, because we need them to unlock other moves. So here I take a little bit of time because I'm not 100% certain. I've only got 86 gold. So I sell a couple of my Raised Amulets so I can buy a bunch of Warp Stones. We're going to need them for the next little bit. And we'll need them later on in the run as well. So they're very, very important to have. We want to make sure we have them. So save over the Great Hall save, just to basically save the current character and save my items. Then I duplicate the time as well as some mana potions there. So as I said before, we're going to duplicate 8 of the times. Excuse me, and we're going to unlock Avid Pursuit 2. And there I screw it up a little bit. I think this one's a little slow. Usually I would have set up all the controllers and made the dupe a little faster, but it's not a huge deal. And as we can see, there's some poor menuing. That's a little unfortunate, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes. Alrighty, so so I saved just in case I need those times for later, but also just since I've also duplicated other items. Quickly duplicate the times and unlock Avid Pursuit 2. There we go. And you'll be able to notice as soon as I get into the marketplace and go and start to run longer stretches, you'll notice I'm a lot faster. And when you play this game and unlock Avid Pursuit 2 as the fighter, you'll notice it straight away. You're a lot faster. So look at that, I'm already pounding away. Just sprinting across like Usain Bolt. Completely unstoppable. So in the barracks area, we've got to grab the second Jeweled Sceptre. We do this by grabbing an office key. It's the safest way of doing it. There's also a hidden area we need to go into to grab an item called the Thrown Axe of Ruin. We're going to get 2 of them, and we're going to duplicate them later. So we go in here to get the officer's key. Now in theory with door hopping, we shouldn't need to do that. It's just a nice and consistent way of doing it, especially with Avid Pursuit 2 on the fighter. You can get in and out of that room really quick. You'll see on the other run with the rogue, I struggle to get out of that room and I have to use hide and move silently. Okay, so here, secret area, just keep running forward, keep the forward on the controller, the game remembers it. So you keep moving forward, hit that lever, get the Thrown Axe of Ruin. And I'm not entirely certain what I'm doing. I think I'm just checking my quests. Because again, this is the first run I've done with the other runs being invalidated. Thankfully, it's only the fighter that I had to invalidate, so the rogue run is a completely new run. I haven't done, for some reason, I haven't done an all quest easy run with the rogue, or any all quest run with the rogue. Maybe as just all quests, not character specific. I would have done that in the past. But here we're doing the same as we would have done before in other categories and in past runs. We save and load back to the start of the area. And then we use a warp stone. And the way the warp stone works, use it near a save portal. And then what you can do is as soon as you go run in there, it takes you back to the castle shop. So this is a really quick way of just getting back to the castle shop, getting this cutscene through, getting the quest for the third Jeweled Sceptre. Then we will immediately after this, we'll run back through the portal and we'll go back to the barracks, run out of the barracks, because just by the barracks is also the Church of Baele, which is where we're going to next. So the fastest way of this particular spot is just to use the warp portal to go back to the other area. Sorry, to go back into the barracks. Leave the barracks as we entered it. As you see right there, just leave straight back out the entrance. Then I'm going to run directly across from where I am right now into the Church of Baele. And now in the now invalid version of this run, we did a door hop there because door hopping there is actually a little fun. And it's not that difficult. But getting out of the areas afterwards is. So right here we're just going to Avid Pursuit, run to a specific hidden door. You can kind of tell, you can kind of tell it's meant to be open at a certain point. You can see with the textures there that it's, if you go hit a lever later in the level, you can just, this will open up and you can just walk in. I think I have a pretty poor door hop here. This usually isn't too bad, but I think the way it worked in this one is I allowed too many enemies to get around me. And you'll see here the, I think in a moment, like maybe the next one, yep, there we go. We get spawned all the way over there, which is no good. This is already like a pretty poor, it happened again. This is already a pretty poor door hop. With every single door hop, when we're going up and over something, if we're not just going straight through it, which can happen very rarely, but we want this. We want to go up, 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 straight above ourselves. I want to clarify, it has to be straight above. Then we get this when we're getting sort of part way over. And then we need to do at least one more. Because now we're up on the wall. We're up on that little sort of wall there. We're up on the quote-unquote door that we're hopping over. Now we want another spawn further over. And you'll be able to tell straight away. Like, I am active. You can tell that I'm pretty much in the area. And I actually make a mistake coming up here. When I eventually get over this door hop. So at this point, you're just at the mercy of the randomness of the spawns. So there we go. Now I hop back down in the area, and you can actually physically make it to the rod here, but for whatever reason, and this messes with my saves, because now I'm saving as 2 players. That's not really in terms of completing any of the quests and completing the run. It's not too much. It doesn't affect the overall, as you see, I'm now a 2-player file. It doesn't affect me doing the run, because I'm still running around as 1 player, but it affects when I try to spawn in that saved character that has all the items on them. Because now I've got 2 characters there, 2 players, and one of them has nothing. So that's a mistake that I made, so that'll be something to learn from there. Once again, we go back to Rick. He's going to give us a key to get into the dungeons, which is just outside the castle shop. You see the big gate as soon as we get outside, basically. Go outside the main door, take a left, go for the big gate. And that will get us to the dungeons. And I believe I do it just after we get outside here, but it's a good thing just to make sure that you make sure for menuing sake, you just hop into the menu and update the level here. Because if I save and I haven't gone into the menu, and I go and do a door hop or do an item dupe, every single time I open up the menu to do the item dupe, it's going to be like, hey, you leveled up, and we don't want that. That loses us a lot of time. So now we're in the dungeons area. This is, most of the time, the run ender. This spot right here. The reason being is that doing this area normally, you have to go run around a whole bunch of different spots, get a bunch of different items and whatnot, and it can be a real pain in the bum. The Jeweled Sceptre is actually not too far away from us. You can see a doorway just up here. I'm gonna run past this. I forget the name of that enemy. But we go through this door. Normally you go all the way around and you come back to the store after grabbing the Jeweled Sceptre. Because you can see there's a doorway up ahead. Just up ahead and to the right is where the Jeweled Sceptre is kept. So it's faster, in theory, for us to door hop here. And get over the door. And access the, and go grab the Jeweled Sceptre. Sometimes you can get really lucky here. And I think at some point I start moving around and doing stuff down here. You can sometimes get really lucky. There's something to do with, on the other side of the door, I think there's a lever there or something. I don't exactly remember what it is. There we get real lucky. We just happen to get real lucky. The road run is not nearly as lucky as this. The road run is really poor. If I already had a time set for the road run, it would have been a dead run at this point. So see, as soon as we get to the other side, that doorway opens up. Sometimes you can get really lucky, and it'll do something and damage an enemy, or do something to cause a lever or whatever's down there. There's the 4th scepter. You can do whatever to make it so that... we get stuck here for a second. You're going to see me use, I believe, War Cry to stun all the enemies. Oh, that's right, here we go. This is where the problem kicks in. Because now I'm going, wait, why is my character... What's happened if I accidentally put in the wrong character? And then I look down and I'm like, oh, look at that. So this is costing me a bunch of time here. Having to double check and see that I've got 2 players now. So now that I'm aware of it, I'm able to adjust for it, and then it gets stuck here anyway. Massive time loss here. Thankfully, it did not cost me the run. This is something they'll go on a YouTube short, because it's just pathetic, really. It's really, really bad that happened. It allowed me sort of a clear runway to get out of that room, thankfully. As you can see there, there's I think there's meant to be a lever or something there, or something to do with those items there, that if you break them, it causes that door to open. It's really weird. I'm not entirely certain what it is just yet, but there's something that goes on there. So sometimes you get really, really lucky, and that was a loud roar. There's a really long roar as well. Sometimes you can get really lucky, and that door will open just by you doing something up above it. So now we're through to the portals area. There's a beholder in here. We're not going to fight it in this run. Once again, if you're interested in seeing me kill all the bosses, if you want to see me take on all the bosses, the beholder is one of them that we skip in both any percent and all quests. However, of course, with all bosses, we kill the beholder. So if you want to see that, once again, there's a link to the playlist, link to my speedrun profile down below. Once again, while you're down there, please leave a like and a comment, subscribe if you're enjoying this. It would really help out the channel. I'd love to be able to do this more full time. I basically just do this on the weekends at the moment. Of course, if I can turn this into a bit more of a side hustle, it means I can do more and more and more of it. And you guys subscribing, liking, commenting, that all helps. It helps a lot. So anyway, keeping on going back to the run, we're doing an item dupe here for the Thrown Axe of Ruin. We don't need it right now, but we're going to go into the nature gem area. We're going to go into the first planar gem area. That's what I meant to say, which is the nature gem. And we're going to go into the main boss fight of that area, the Yerfak, because it's actually a quest to go kill the Yerfak. There's also a mini boss fight in that area revolving around that Serpent's Crown split you see there. There's like a mini boss of like a head guy that the head head Armada leader, the leader of the Armada, has stolen the crown, the Serpent's Crown, and we need to go kill him, get the Serpent's Crown off him, and take it back to another area. This is, by the way, the longest split. I think this ends up being about an 11-minute split. At least based on the last few runs that I did before this one. Like, this is quite slow for the split. Partially because this door hop goes so wrong. Yeah. These doors aren't too bad. They're usually quite good for door hops. But for some reason, in this particular run, it just did not want to cooperate. Once again, I think at this point, the fact that the beholder's right there is affecting the spawns. Because usually the beholder, we're already up and basically over at this point in a good door hop. Like, it does not take long to complete this door hop usually. So, usually the beholder wouldn't even be a part of this. It wouldn't be affecting it in any way, shape, or form. Now, what I should have been doing is repositioning instead of just continuing to try and respawn, because I'm spawning left and right, left and right, left and right. There we go. I decided to reposition. Look at that, straight away. And it's not guaranteed to help, but it's just something that basically, as soon as the door hop goes wrong once, it's a good idea to do. So once again, we're stuck because the character's facing one way. I can't really do much about it now, but usually the character would be facing the same way as we spawn in, so that way we'd be looking over the door, essentially. So again, what I should have done at this point is said, this is going wrong, I need to restart. So the only problem with door hopping is that this can happen. There we go, we're up and over. And what we're going to do before we enter the nature gem area is we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick up, you can kind of see, I don't know if it's that visible, but there's a bunch of anti-venom potions in the area, in this little hub area. So you're going to see me pick up a bunch of them. There we go, now the glint's showing properly. I'm going to pick up 5 of them, because we will need them in the next area. I should have gone and picked up the rest of them, because we needed them, but it's whatever. Alrighty, so Serpent's Crown split. As you can see now already, this has gone on quite long. Got this little cutscene that we skip here. One of the Yuan-Ti chicks. So we're in the Yuan-Ti Wilds. Here are some of the Armada underlings. The main, they are the main enemy of these areas. And these guys, we just ignore them. In a casual fight, you'd see them be like, "Oh, cool, we gotta go kill these guys," and you would go kill them. But this is a speedrun, we don't do that. So I'm bringing up the map here. I don't really need it because I have this well mapped out in my head. I think I end up going the wrong way actually, even with the map up. So I go up here, and then what you mean to do is go to the right and up pretty much straight away. For some reason, I go right, which is the wrong way. So you know, there's a mana pool there, which those things exist. So I could just stand next to it and spam moves. So I lost about 5 seconds there, I want to say. I'm going to go up straight away and hit this cutscene.
So grateful I found you. The Armada has stolen the crown of the serpent.
Fun fact, like the Armada and all that.
Our priestess draws her power from the spirits, and the crown allows her to channel that power. You must find the crown and return it to the statue for all our sakes.
Alright, fun fact about this lady. If you just sort of hang around, she doesn't get attacked. Despite the fact that the Armada are basically meant to be her enemies, they don't attack her. It's quite funny. Anyway, we're just running from point A to point B once again because the Serpent's Crown is all the way in like the last area before the boss fight. That's why this split is so long. That's why this area takes so long. And you can't just like save and load up another save and load in the current character, for example, because the way that the quests work in this game is it's based on whatever current profile you're in. As you can see, the anti-venom potion's being used already. We've got an interesting door hop coming up ahead. This door hop coming up, by the way, we have to do 3 times, but just before I go on to that, as I was saying, yeah, the reason this area is so long is you have to go basically to the end of all these areas, to the boss fight of the Planar Gem area, which each of the Planar Gem areas follow that philosophy. You go from the start area all the way to the end for about 3 different areas, and then you go fight the boss. Here for the Serpent's Crown, you have to go to the last area before the boss fight, kill the Armada leader, and then bring it all the way back to the first area. And then you've got to go put it in a particular spot that's off the beaten path. And you have to go put it on this particular statue, and then you'll get a cutscene of one of the Yuanti priestess there, or priestess, I think she's just follower. Sorry, follower is the word I'm looking for. The Yuanti follower. She will come in and be like, thank you, here's your reward for sorting this out for us, basically. So this door hop's not going that well. This door hop's usually pretty consistent. The way this works is we want to go up, 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 and up. After the third spawn, basically. As you can see, I haven't gone far enough. After the third spawn, we want to go about roughly 4 to 5 spawns forward while we're up in the air here. And then after that point, we will have spawned far enough so that we actually get spawned past the gate on the other side. Because there's actually a there's like a what's the wording? There's an invisible wall down below us. So you'll see when we try to come back through this area, because we've got to come back through, of course, for the Serpent's Crown quest. As you can see, it's taking ages now. There we go, we're finally down. And that's me being silly and getting hit for no reason. When we come back through this area, you'll see that we can't go past a certain point where those spikes are, because the gate's not open. And the area between the area where we get stuck on, basically, and the gate, it's just like where the gate opens up to. This is probably like the most normal area in the speedrun, outside the start of the run. We are doing this area normally. We can do a door hop in this area, but it's very easy to soft lock yourself essentially, or get stuck and not be able to move at all, even if you've quote unquote passed the gate. This door hop is incredibly difficult, and it's not worth it. So I just do this normal area normally. Walker Eye actually comes in really handy here as well. As you can see, there's a lot of the Armada there. And their hitboxes are very finicky. They're quite large, so it's handy to have Warcry on hand. I don't know why I'm not using an anti-venom potion yet, that's weird. I think I was expecting to die, so raise your amulets when you use them, you'll see here. You go back to full health and full mana. And then because I get blocked there, I've actually never done this before. Because I get blocked there and I see all of the Armada and those spiders that they're blocking the way, instead of trying to push and force my way through, I just come to the side. All we're doing is going to... By the way, there's a pattern that you meant to do, which is why I'm hitting the plates in the order that I am. All we're doing in this area is hitting 4 pressure plates. I'll trigger a cutscene, open up the gate at the end of the area. And the easiest way to remember is you want to go left first. And then when you get to that little sort of, I guess V-shaped area. W-shaped would probably be a better one. V, U, W-shaped. When you essentially get to the horseshoe spot there, you're going to see me use Walker right here. And then kill one of the Armada so I can make room for myself. And of course I level up, so now I've got to go into the menu and go through the level up thing. But basically, you just want to remember to go left. When you go into the horseshoe part of these areas, at the start of the area, to go hit the right pressure plate, you want to go left, and then go right around to where the 2 pressure plates are, and you want to go left, and then right, and then go across the other side of the area, like I have done here, and go left and right again. It doesn't really matter which way you go, as long as you get there as fast as you can. Which is why, instead of trying to push through that horde that was there, usually I would just go back basically to the start of the area and run around that way. But you can do it either way. Sorry, I just wanted to go on that spiel there because I was actually quite proud of that. So this is the second to last area of the Nature Gem area. This is where the Armada, the head of the Armada is. So once again, we're just running from point A to point B. We're going to kill the Armada leader, grab the Serpent's Crown off his corpse, And then after we've beaten him, because again we spawned back at point A, we're going to do what we did with the Great Hall. We're going to save and load. That way we don't have to deal with these with the Armada, because they're a pain in the ass to run around. As you've noticed, they can be a right pain in the ass. So I've still got a bunch of Rod of Fires here, so I just decided to use them. The newer method would be to use the thrown axes that I have. I've just noticed that the audio is broken there as well. That's quite funny. That is the sound of one of the Armadas doing something. That is not the sound of the Rod of Fire. That's completely wrong. But as I said, we save and load here, and we go back to the start of the area, because that's where we got spawned. So we load game, and the game's like, well, we've got to load you somewhere. So it's got its own little pre-saved point for us back at the start of the area where we entered. If we went and killed the Yefak, that's the boss fight coming up. We went back into this area. The area that we came from, the Yefak boss fight, that would be that pre-saved area. So if I saved and loaded, if I ran to the other side of the area, like how I saved and loaded and was at the other side of the area there, if I did that and then saved and loaded, I wouldn't be at the other side. I wouldn't be here, basically. I wouldn't be able to quickly spawn in here and come through here. I'd be spawned back at the pre-saved area by the Yefak boss fight. I apologise for the terrible explanation there. That I just trying to get through everything. So now, because we've got the Serpent's Crown, all we are doing is going back to the first area to go put the Serpent's Crown back. And once again, this is the biggest example of how all quests, you can't just like save, do like a wrong warp or something, or like a save and load warp sort of thing, or a load warp, for example, because as you can see, I'm getting stuck, by the way. Because if I were to just be like, oh, I saved back in the Anti-Wilds area, the start of this Plane of Gem area, and load, it would load with the save. That save file has all the quests that have been done there. It does not have the quest being completed just because the character has been loaded in after completing the quest. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, feel free to comment down below how much of a spaz I am. How much of an idiot I am. So yeah, we do this door hop. I don't know why I'm trying to run forward there. We do that door hop there. I managed to get down as Aradin. I actually need to keep that in mind. This is the first time I've done that way. So I need to keep that in mind so that I don't have to go too far forward if I want to spawn in. As you can see there, we anti-venom just at the last possible second. We did actually get poisoned. But, excuse me, we were able to anti-venom quick enough to, counter it. And the main thing is that the venom itself doesn't actually do much damage. We're on easy, so it does nothing to us. It does like the same as basically getting hit normally. But the problem is that it will play an animation that we have to try and cancel out every single time. And that loses us time, so we don't want to deal with that. Alright, we're back to the first area. Back to the first area. I've come all this way. I pop up the minimap again because I am anxious as all hell. We've already ran one wrong way, and I almost did it there. And this area, just sort of off the side of the beaten path, is where the Serpent's Crown is going to be placed. We're just going to deal with all these Armada, and then for some reason it doesn't load, but there we go. And we get a nice little slide animation there.
The crown of the serpent returns. You have proven yourself this day, and for that you shall.
So there we go, we get rewarded, and we level up as well, which is nice. Helps for later on when we need to use our level up points to buy a move called Frenzy. So now we're going to run off further off the beaten path here to go to a hidden area and pick up a very specific item called the Wild Balanote. One of the quests involved grabbing that item and taking it back to one of the Crimson Scar gang members. So depending on how you want to play this in a casual run, if you're basically doing what I've done here and you've just done the main things and I get stuck here as well, it's quite funny. But if you've played the game basically like what I have done here, but in a more casual setting, if you for whatever reason just ran off and you followed the quest mark and then you ran off to go look for the secret area and found the wild Balanote, you'd be like, oh, what is this? I mean, it'd be pretty obvious it's a quest item, or it's a special item that you need to keep hold of, but you wouldn't know like that you're supposed to take that back to. Oh, I don't even remember his name. I can remember the other ones, but I can't remember his name. It's a Crimson Scar gang member. All I can remember is that he looks like he's from Boston. Anyway, once again, running back through this area. we are going to go here. We're just going to run back to the door hop, do the door hop again. And again, just mentioning what I mentioned before. If we had finished the quest, so we got that inner sanctum save there. If we finished the quest, and then we just loaded up the inner sanctum save, it would not count as completing the quest. Because if I were to bring up the menu and go look at the quest later on, it would say that that quest has not been completed. It would not count it. It is always based on your current playthrough. So if you save and load, if we were to do the faster thing, which would just be to load up that other save and say save now and spawn a character in that area, it wouldn't work. It would consider the quest to be incomplete. There we go. This is a little bit of a finicky door hop. The door hops in this run and both this and the rogue run are a little bit poor. Fortunately, we get lucky with some of the door hops here, so it doesn't take up too much time. But this run could probably be easily dropped from a 138 down to 136 or a 137, just with optimization and better door hops. Once again, we're just going to go forward and forward and forward, and we are going to get as far forward as we can, and then drop that back down. Ugh. Excuse me, just need to have a drink of water. So now we're going to go ahead, after the store hop, we're going to go back to the Inner Sanctum, and we're going to complete the Rescue the Priestess quest. By the way, this is why we have to go several spawns forward, otherwise you get stuck there, and you literally can't move. And then I lose time here, because I'm like, oh, what if I try and move forward, and then I just get stuck on top of it myself. That's usually a sign that you are only 1 or 2 spawns away. So now I think I despawn one fighter, never mind, I spawn him back in. But once you start seeing this, that's a telltale sign that you only need to do like 1 more spawn and you're good. So that's typically about 4 or 5 spawns. So now we just run back through the areas we've already been through. I'm going to go to the end of the Inner Sanctum area. Right before we get into the EFAC boss fight, we're going to meet a character called the Yuanti Priestess. If you, she's not really that important. By beating the Armada leader, you basically rescue her, right? If you complete the Serpent's Crown quest, she heals you as well, because her power is derived from the Serpent's Crown, which is why that becomes an important quest. And I think I have to war cry here in the end, or just beat this guy up. There we go. I should have war cried first. Yeah, these Armada guys, they're a pain in the bum to deal with. Both them and the skeletons, they have like wider hitboxes than what is actually shown. Or at least it feels like that, so they can be a real pain in the bum. So once again, we just run past all these guys. We go to the end of this area where the priestess is going to be. That's where she's being held captive, right before the Yerfak boss fight. And then I believe we do a item dupe to get to 100 plus thrown axes. That little bit of lag there, I believe... Actually, no, that's wrong. I don't know why that lagged there. It just did for some reason. That little bit of lag there is supposed to happen, though, because that's where the cutscene trigger is for the Armada, the head of the Armada. So there we go. Rescue Priestess is complete. Takes about 8 minutes just because you have to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Before you go and transfer what remains of my power, guard yourself, and may.
And you can hear her casting a spell there, which heals us. Which is a lie, actually. She did not heal us. I lied. I'm sorry. That's weird. I feel like I'm possibly misremembering, but the game also might just be glitching out. So I dupe 40 odd there. I believe also dupes on the raised dead amulets just to be safe. I should only need a few of them. There we go. Now we go into... Never mind, apparently I'm... yes, the health potions. Losing time there because I didn't duplicate more health potions. We'll need them. There we go, 110 thrown axes. I won't need most of them, I think. But it sets up for later on as well, so I don't have to duplicate as many of them. So this is Yerfak. He's, in my opinion, one of the coolest boss fights. They just start throwing early since the health bar is available, and he takes his time for some reason. We get real lucky. That's completely random, whether or not he just flies off straight away or not. So now the Yerfak, his gimmick is he just flies around and he drops rocks on you. Then it would, then the Yerfak will, once it drops down, it will this will do damage, and then he will just stand there and take hits. Then he'll block, attack, and then do like a little brief attack there, and then fly off again. And if you're in that little circle of range, you get hit every single time whenever the effect lands or whenever it takes off. So here I'm trying to survive just a little bit, so I'm trying to take a little bit of damage, but I don't want to take too much. Unfortunately, I take too much there. So I don't want to be dead right now. This is where I want to be dead. The idea of doing that, and also the idea of duplicating as many raised damage as we do, is so that I can manipulate the effect into standing still for longer. As you can see here, the effect's nearly dead already. If we had a little bit better of a boss fight, we would have killed it. So I think now I start moving around. Or apparently I don't. I somehow don't die. And then I think I realise, oh god, I'm about to die. I need to move around. So now this is where we properly manipulate the effect. Not that it matters too much, that the boss fight's done, basically. Look at that, 2 thrown axes done. So that's one of the most fun boss fights in the game. So now we go grab the nature gem. Gem of nature found, proceed to the portals. Also, fun fact, regarding the gems, the quest for the gems is just to find the 5 gems. I may have to go and validate this run, just to double check and make sure, but I'm pretty confident that that's correct. The game doesn't tell you to go find each specific gem, it just tells you to find all of them. And we're going to get a side quest here to go find Laundra, which will... Basically, this is all we do in the next area. We go find Laundra and then we leave. It's actually quite funny. The red gem area, the fire gem area, we literally just go find Laundra and then we leave. The red dragon is not a part of the... we kill one enemy, but the red dragon, the main boss fight, the main boss of this area, we don't kill it. We don't touch anything else other than one mini boss, and we cheese that, and the red dragon, we ignore it. What we do is we go find Laundra. There's a save portal next to Laundra. There's a warp stone there and go back to Castle Shop. Now, you can, if we wanted to, we could go to the red dragon boss fight and either fight it or door hop and skip the dragon and just grab the red gem. Grab the red gem and leave. But it'd obviously be slower, and it's not necessary, so we don't do it. Once again, if you want to go watch the bosses fight, go look down below, check the playlist. The red dragon's in there. Not much of a selling point for the red dragon is we cheese it. There's a neat little thing that even if you just do a quick Google search and you look on, like, I think IGN's forums or Game FAQ forums, there's an old forum there talking about speedrunning, which mentions specifically, which is where I got it from, is that you could cheese the red dragon and frostworm by standing right on the edge of the boss fight area. You go and you get into the area and then you just hit the cutscene trigger and you just stand still and you just throw stuff at them, or you shoot arrows or cast spells, and they will not attack you. If you want to see that, once again, go down below. The link to the playlist will be down there. The link to my speedrun profile is also down there. If you want to go see each various character, because by this point, each character has unlocked certain moves and whatnot, so that we can specifically deal with each boss fight. There's a really clutch health potion there. I just want to say that. But once again, they will be available down below. And while you're down there, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate it. Helps the channel. Rightio. So once again, as I mentioned at the start of the area, or even before we entered the area, we are literally just here to find Laundra. So we just go as fast as possible through these areas. As you may have just seen before, there's a soul shard there, and that's what I meant. That soul shard that we just passed earlier is basically what I meant when I talked about the soul shard run and some interesting stuff. Because you can use door hopping to get up by the soul shard, hit the soul shard, drop back down, and save there to save the soul shard, and then continue with the run. So we're just ducking and weaving and jarving, running around here. As you can see, these fire giants love to cast that spell. So we're just doing our best to avoid it. It's an area effect spell, and even if you're not like right on the fire, it can still damage you. It's not fun to deal with. And this is arguably the funniest hallway in the entire game. As you can already see, these guys are getting bopped around. they're just getting knocked around. I don't know how they're not getting stopped by the other bits, but C1 ends up attacking us. It's quite funny, really. I don't know what causes that. I don't know why that happens. I think when the big presses squeeze in, it hits the robots, and obviously it doesn't kill them, because that would make the area way too easy if it did, sorry. But it knocks them around, so it causes a little funny effect, and you see it here. And some of them, as you can see, they just start flying off. They're easily the two funniest hallways, like the funniest hallway in the entire game. Okay, so this is where we're going to do the one fight. And as I said, we're cheesing this. Because we can hit the fight from here. If I edit this properly, you'll be able to hear the boss, the mini boss, taking damage. And then I'll level up, and that tells me, very easy indicator, just watch the XP bar. Or in this case, I see the game go, oh, hey, you've leveled up, and that tells me I've killed that fire giant. So he's got the cage key for Laundra here, who you can speak to her first, and she will tell you to go kill the fire giant. And by the way, our character's just going to glitch out a little bit here. For some reason, gets pushed out of place and has to move back in. I think it has something to do with like the doorways taking up a specific area and where Laundra comes out to. So Laundra's just going to leave now, and she gets told to go home. So we don't have to speak to her ever again. She's just gone. That's her. Hi Laundra, bye Laundra, thanks for coming. So Laundra's been saved. We just pop up the warp stone, and we go back to the castle shop. See, in the all bosses category, of course, we ignore Laundra. We just go fight the red dragon and kill it, and continue on. And of course, in the any % run, we don't enter the planar gem areas at all, except for the last one, because that's the only one we need to go to. So Rick's just, like every time you go to Rick, in between getting one of the planar gems and getting the keys and stuff, he'll have a cutscene for you and he'll talk to you. So this is just inevitable. There's a little bit of downtime. Perfect spot to go for a piss or do whatever. Well, maybe not go for a piss, it's not that long, but, you know, perfect spot just to like have a little snacky snack or something. So all we have got to do is now go find the Crimson Scar gang. If I've done this correctly. Sorry, no. We have to go back through the other way to go to the dungeons. Because if we go back through the warp portal, we will just go back to the fire area. And usually in this game, there's a big portal back in the castle shop that allows you to go back and forth between the portal hub area and the castle shop. However, that does not spawn in unless you've defeated the beholder, which we haven't done. So it might actually be genuinely faster for me to kill the beholder and lose 30 seconds here, and then gain back the time here by running around here. It might be genuinely faster to do that, but it's not too difficult. Everything's opened up here, so we can just run straight to the portals. So now, quickly before I go into the ice gem area or the frost gem area, I need to item dupe. As you can see, I'm low on potions. And we're also, no doubt, very low on axes. I don't know why I only did like 22 there. That was kind of weird. Should duplicate the whole lot. Yeah, there we go. The whole lot. We're going to need them all. We are going to need them all. 117. That's not even enough. 117 is not enough. You can kind of see it down there in the splits. Defeat ice golems. We have to go defeat a bunch of them. It takes about roughly 11 or 12. By the way, I make a big mistake here. I do the dupe. I don't save. Incredibly stupid of me. I don't save before entering the... Now, I'm now in a boss fight, so I can't save. But I should have saved before going back into the Beholder boss fight area. And then doing the store hop. So now I've got to do another item dupe, which is going to cost me time. So that's just a bit of optimization that I need to do. Once again, we're having a poor door hop here, and I should have just realigned myself to get a better door hop. Once again, these particular door hops, these particular doors, sorry, are actually not that hard to get over. In this case, I think I've just got poor positioning, and the fact that the character's facing the wrong way probably doesn't help. So that's all. I'm just going to continue and try and fail a little bit here. Let's see. Nope, not yet. Not yet. Here we go. Is this the one? Nope. Things are just going poorly here. I'm just sitting there thinking, Like, this has turned into a really poor door. At this point, I'm sitting here thinking, like, is this run going to be dead? So it's like, I've got that 145 time to beat, because that's now going back and validating the other 138 runs I did before this one. Now 145 is the time to beat. There we go. So I think I quickly load and fix my issue. I also decided to use the player 1 controller, just because I prefer it. In there I have to update and change the way I've got my item duplication going, and I've got to make sure I have raised dead amulets. This next area, outside of that one door hop, and as you can see I'm trying to save, I can't. Not that I should need to save anyway, I've got the items I need. I'm not saving them. I should have before the Beholder boss fight. That's what I was meant to do. So I lost time there. We should have entered the Frostworm area before the Ice Planetgem area. By the way, here's the waifu. Best girl of the entire game. As you can see, I have her as my splits. So now we're going to defeat about, I think, 20. Maybe not 20. We're going to defeat a bunch of ice golems. And so as you can see there, it took about roughly 10 to 15 axes to kill one ice golem. So we already don't have enough axes for them. And also we have to deal with the barbarians. They are awful to deal with. This is genuinely the hardest area of the run. Especially when we get to the top side of this area. So I've got to keep an eye on my raised dead amulet mount. We get a couple of thrown axes back there, which is nice. But you want to make sure you have a good, like, solid, I want to say 15 raised dead amulets. Because you will die a lot in this area. It is incredibly difficult. So I'm already dead and I haven't even done that much damage. Just because these barbarians... I don't think I do it yet, which is stupid of me. But at a certain point, I think I realized that I'm not doing things right. Because I can use Warcry and stun the barbarians. And that gives me an extra throw or two to get in on the ice golem. So that's what I should have done. And I'm getting low on health potions. So I screwed up the item dude before. So I can't just use health potions and spam them. This is a little bit better positioning wise, just because I keep throwing at the ice golem and not worry about the barbarians as much, because I don't end up accidentally throwing anything at the barbarians. And here's the fun part. These guys are a pain in the ass to deal with. They're genuinely one of the worst enemies to deal with in this entire game. They double attack you, they swarm you, they have their own like frenzy style potion where their attacks get faster and stronger, and they are just a pain in the bum. They are not fun to deal with. Genuinely my most hated enemy in this entire game. There's the one short, for those that have seen it, the one short that I have where I get surrounded by them and I was unable to get out. I tried to save and load and the game said, nope, you've got to flick all of the levers again, which was the end of the run for me, because I believe that was on the already existing probably all bosses run or something like that. I don't remember doing it for all quests, but maybe I did. I don't remember. There's another point where I should have been using Warcry. For some reason I'm not, and there's some bad positioning there as well. So I could Warcry once here and then focus on dealing with the ice golem. For some reason I'm picking up the gold there, and then I press the wrong button, start swearing at the game because I'm like, don't, what are you doing? And yeah, as you can see, I'm checking the raised dead amulets. You have to keep an eye on your raised dead amulets here, and you have to keep a mental note of how many you have, because if you don't, game over. You've got to start the entire area again, and this area, as I mentioned, is like one of the worst to deal with. So that didn't go too poorly. Now, some of the other characters you can you make things a little bit easier. With the rogue, there we go, I start using Warcry there. With the rogue, I unlock a move called Exploding Arrow, which is just basically a fire arrow, like a fireball style arrow. And that makes this a little easier. I think the fire, because it's a fire based move, it does more damage. There we go, I'm just going to update my level there again. So with the rogue, there's Exploding Arrow. I know what I'm doing. Oh, that's right, I'm item duping for throwing axes. I have to do this at least once or twice. Of course, I'm going to item dupe a bunch of potions and stuff as well. This area is a little bit of a marathon. It's not fun to deal with. I don't know why I'm doing this again. I think I just decided I'd do as many as possible. Should have done that before I entered the area. So I've got like 141 of them. That's probably still not enough as well. So now we're up in the top side area. There's a bunch of ice golems here we have to kill. And this is where things get a bit freaky, especially at the end of it. It's not fun to deal with. I genuinely get anxious when I get to this area of the run. It's not fun. It is not fun in the slightest. Failed war cry there, because we love to see it. Of course, gonna have a failed war cry. And then I start throwing the axes, and the barbarians just walk straight in front of me. So now I'm realizing war cry. And then I accidentally throw my last rod of fire. There we go, the ice golem's not moving as much. We can take a death there, we can walk right and leave. So then we got Avid Pursuit, which is fast enough to get us out of the area and to stop the barbarians from coming after me. Which I think they do eventually, but the main thing here is to war cry the barbarians so they don't do as much damage. And the ice golem, for some reason, I think the ice golem here actually got affected by it, so I should probably start doing that for every ice golem. Taking a death there is fine. I gotta run this way for some reason because I think there's an ice golem over there. There is not. And then I run too far this way, so I trigger those barbarians. This goes poorly. Like I said, this area is awful. These barbarians just swarm you. They hit you multiple times before you can hit them back. As you can see there, I'm trying to throw axes at the golem. It's not working out. Now I'm trying to do it too quickly, meaning I'm not throwing them at all because I'm cancelling the animation altogether. And now I'm surrounded. So thankfully, combination of Warcry and with enough raised dead amulets, I can just attack these guys. Get stuck here once again. You can just sort of sneak out. I think I quickly decide to use the Rod of Reflection here just to help deal with the guys. Their Warcry hits nothing because they're all out of range. Do another one there. Yeah, this takes a while, unfortunately. This area is not the longest split of the run, but it's the second longest easily. This is just an absolutely awful area. This is actually a okay scenario to be in. So I've got the items to the right of me that I can just break those and run away. Got 2 ice golems remaining. Seeing that pop up in that particular spot is actually a massive relief because I know exactly where the remaining 2 ice golems are. And then I run to the edge of the area because I think I'm further in the area than I actually am. So I've got one over here, which is like just slightly off the beaten path. If you run all the way around to the end of this area, there's a soul shard there. So this is a little bit of a scary area, a scary spot to be in because it's very easy for the barbarians to stop you from attacking. You see, I'm taking a lot of damage, so I'm not able to attack. And then the ice golem is just kind of standing there. I think at a certain point he got affected. So I try and juke the barbarians a little bit. Doesn't really work, but also kind of does. And then the last ice golem is right there. So I just try and Warcry, get around the barbarians, get to the ice golem, get to a position where I can throw stuff at the ice golem. As you can see, I'm getting attacked by everything. Barbarians, like I mentioned, they have a bunch of projectiles. I think in the end I said, you know what, I'm going to duplicate some more raised dead amulets because this area is scary. It's horrible. You can see there's so many barbarians. It's just, this area is a pain in the bum. It is genuinely one of the worst areas in the game, especially for speedrunning. There we go, ice golem's defeated. I'm a little late on the split, so 8.5 minutes on one bloody split. And then so I just leave the next area. I still have a level up thing to do. I think I do it in the next area just to get on with it. Excuse me. So now, the next area, this area here, there's a hidden area with an item called the Castle Winners. So we're going to go ahead and grab that Castle Winners, go into the mountain pass, excuse me. I'm going to go back to Castle Baele. There we go, do a little level up thing. We're going to go back to Castle Baele using a walk point at the start of the mountain pass area. And then we are going to complete the Wild Balanote quest and the Castle Winners. And by the way, yeah, it is pronounced Wild Balanote. It's not Wild Balanote, even though it looks like it should be pronounced like that. You'll hear that one of the characters specifically says Wild Balanote. He goes, oh, hey, that's Wild Balanote. And then I make a mistake, actually. I speak to Lida, the head of the Crimson Scar gang that we spoke to back at the when we first entered Castle Baele. You don't need to talk to her in this scenario. So usually we would speak to her because the entire Crimson Scar gang would now have come over to the castle shop. But the way we've done things, Rick's still there. So we got to go to the Dragon's Tankard. And then from the Dragon's Tankard, we come back here and we just go straight back to the Planet Gem area. So Rick's just going to quickly comment and be like, oh my goodness, you have the Nature Gem. It's a powerful thing, isn't it? You know, we have no way of using it yet. And so I'm standing there for a couple seconds going like, wait, where are the guys? I think I actually lose time here. I think I go back in. Because I'm like, oh, maybe it's just a matter of respawning. I try to be cheeky. Yeah, there we go. So I head back into the castle shop thinking that it's just a matter of going out and going back in. Because at a certain point, Rick leaves. Spoiler alert, Rick is Caden, the final boss of the game. So at a certain point, when you've got enough planet gems, Rick being Caden, he decides he needs to leave and prepare for dealing with you later. So the Crimson Scar gang, they go into the castle shop and they take it over, and they'll work the shop for you. So now we go into the Dragon's Tankard to go speak to the Crimson Scar gang. As I said, I make a mistake here and I talk to Lida when I don't need to. So I'm gonna hit the cutscene here, talk to Zin.
Just who I wanted to see. You know what I'd kill for? Well, lots of things actually. But what I really want is something called the Cask of Winters. Word is that it's through one of the portals in the dungeon. You got as good a shot as any at finding it. If you do, come talk to me.
So there we just unlock the quest for Cask of Winters. Wild Balanote. I said Bala. Wild Balanote. So we get it for this guy, and he's like, oh my goodness, how'd you know I want it? But in any case, he's like, you know, whatever, I'll take it. And he gives us 1,000 XP and some money, I think. And we get the Horned Skull quest. Necropolis, that's where we're going. That's the last area.
3 years ago, I stole this from one of the tombs. I've had nightmares ever since.
So he's got a thing called the Horned Skull on him, and it's been giving him terrible nightmares. He gives it back to us and says, can you go put it back? I don't want this anymore.
I'll make it worth your while, I swear.
And then we go and talk to Sin again. And yeah, as you can see, I've just casually got my sword in his stomach. And he's just so happy about getting the Cask of Winters that being able to show his mates back in Navamere about it. He doesn't care that he's just been stabbed. And then I speak to Lida for some reason.
Hey, thanks for rescuing Andra.
So for some reason I thought I needed to do this. So this is actually costing me more and more time. Like, once again, as I said before, a 136 here is quite possible just from optimizing the run and not speaking to any characters. And yeah, for some reason I'm like, huh? Where's my ring? Where's my ring? Because at a certain point in the game, you'll be given a ring called the Ring of Rings. This is after, I believe, you beat all 4 of the Planet Gem areas. I am actually not 100% certain. Or at least when you've beaten up to the just before or after the Frostworm. I'm forgetting, but in the older old quest runs, you can see, all quest runs, sorry, you can see that I do that. So I come back to the castle shop and just go back through the Warpstone portal there. And Rick is still just chilling out there. At least I think he is. So now we have the mountain pass, and this area is not too bad, but it's still not fun. So for that particular gate, we've got to hit 4 levers. We could do a door hop, but the door hop is very particular, and the levers don't take that long. The main problem here is getting around all the enemies, but these guys tend to take an extra second or two to attack. Even though at the start of the run I got a particular spawn set, I believe, on the first cutscene that would mean that these guys should be more aggressive, but they're still just a little slow. They're just slow enough, I should say, that I can get around them. But yeah, there are times where these guys will just surround you, and it's a pain in the bum to deal with. There's so many of them, and they just keep swarming you. So I think we're able to get out of here. Just just about get stopped. Thankfully, that one barbarian just walks off into the distance, and there's the last lever for the gate. And then we once again just run past these guys. Look, it's very close to getting stopped there. And then now I'm moving too slow, so I need to have a pursuit and nearly die thanks to it. So yeah, it's going to be a pain in the bum, this area. This isn't too bad now. The hitboxes for those sort of holes in the floor there are bigger than they look, so they can be a pain in the bum to run by. We make sure we get past that frost giant, because he'll cast that spell, and that does a lot of damage. This guy does it as well. Just get around them, keep running and running and running. And you were seeing that I popped up the fighter in the bottom right for the other controller. You run around all these guys. And by the way, the videos, there's nothing wrong with your PC or the nothing wrong with your side of things here. This area is very laggy. This game was made back in 2003. It does not like fire or water. As you can see already, it's beginning to lag. The game hates water, and there's a lot of water on the spot. So once again, like some of the other door hops, we're going to go up, and then because we've got this gate here, and the gate sort of has a invisible barrier past a certain point. For here, it's basically just down to the other side of the stairs. So what we're doing here is we are spawning up and then forward about 3 or 4 spawns to make sure we go down to the bottom of the stairs. So that way we do not get stuck on the gate, or we don't get pushed back behind the gate. So I try moving forward there. I'm not going back down. I go back down with the other player, and I can tell straight away I have not done enough spawns. As you can see here, the game's actually going to pick up the frames in the menu. It's going to pick up because it's pausing the game. It's quite funny because it's struggling to deal with the water physics down below. Yeah, both this game with both fire and water just hates dealing with water physics. So I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate, since I've got 2 of the same character on the screen there. I'm going to duplicate a bunch of thrown axes. So one of the quests is that we have to defeat the Frostworm, and it's kind of the same as the FAQ in that sense. Not in terms of how we do the boss fight. We're going to choose this fight right here. You're going to see it right now. This is the same as the Red Dragon as well. We're just going to go to just into the boss fight area. We're just going to hit the edge of the cutscene, basically. I'm just hit the cutscene here, which is why. Excuse me. Got a bunch of burps, but you see I had just touched the start of the cutscene spot there, and now I'm just throwing axes over and over and over again. The Frostworm, for some reason, still can't see me, so we're just going to kill it with ease. And you can see it in some of the other runs for this, in both all bosses and all quests. Things differ with each character here. The Cleric, I believe, the fastest option is again just to throw stuff. But the Rogue, we unlock Exploding Arrow and we shoot arrows instead of throwing items. Using thrown items, I should say. And with the Wizard, we unlock Fireball for her. And that one in particular is really cool. So that's the Frostworm. That is the Frost Planar Gem area as well. Or the Ice Gem area. Now when I go to the Necropolis. And of course the Beholder's sort of still chilling there. By the way, you unlock one of the gems by killing the Beholder as well, so it's quite funny. Just ignore him, ignore that one particular gem. So here we are, open up the last planar gem door. In the 80% run, we just come straight to this door and we door hop over and we go straight to the last planar gem area. So the Find the 5 Gems quest you're seeing in the bottom left there, in the splits, you don't actually need all 5 gems, you just need the Death Gem, which is the last gem which we're going to go get here. This area is a little finicky at the moment. Well, it's not finicky, but the potential for it is. So the way I'm doing it here is the way you would normally do the area. You go and hit each of the 5 levers, you open up the gate at the end of the area, and you leave. In theory, it would be faster to go straight to the gate and door hop and get over. And I decided that this run was going poorly enough that it was better to take the safer option. So I was like, this should still be a 3 PB. Or free world record, excuse me, however you want to look at it. But I need to take this safe. Things are going poorly enough with the door hops that I'm going to take the safe option here rather than door hop and take the risky option. So that gate's now open. Excuse me. Not used to talking for this long, so my mouth's getting dry. I can feel a little bit of phlegm building up. But there we go. There is the first graveyard area done. I'm going to go into the second area. I'm going to go drop off the Horned Skull, complete that quest, and then we're going to go straight to the, like a little, there's a bone church I think it's called. We're going to go straight to that and we're going to door hop into it. There we go. Just run straight in here. That's a Horned Skull. We'll place that down. In older all quest runs, I used to go back to the castle shop and talk to that guy that gave us the Horned Skull. But you don't actually need to do that. The quest is considered complete here. So now we're going to go to the store and we're going to door hop over it. And this is not an ideal start. So I think yeah. It's not an ideal start once again. Even though we're sort of up in the air, we are away from the door. So if we try and spawn from that position, it'll be very hard. This is a lot better. That's typically where you want to be. And now we want to be up on top of the door. I think this takes a couple spawns. Hopefully not too many more. Okay, I dropped back down. That's an interesting decision. I think I sort of, what I should have done earlier is what I did here, is where I went, this isn't going well enough. That's a better start. Look at that, straight away we were on top. So a lot better an idea. And now I spawn in the character I need. We're going to go forward once more. As soon as we see that spawn forward, we start moving, we drop that back down, hit the trigger, go through the next area. There we go. Takes a little bit. Go into the Bone Temple. And this area can be painful as well, because this area is comprised of 3 door hops. And this is where I've also actually made a mistake, kind of. It's not entirely necessary, but you'll see here I get hit by poison. If I still had anti-venom potions, I could have just used one of those and fixed that straight away. We're going to go to this gate, which the normal way to open this gate is to kill the skeletons in the area, and they're a pain in the bum to deal with. I think I actually get knocked back down here, I don't quite remember. This can go quite poorly. See, we can still get hit there, and we get knocked back down. See, as I mentioned earlier, skeletons are annoying. They are a pain in the bum. So that one, I think I decided to go with it. Just I'm like, well, it's kind of over. I might as well take use of it. That one, once again, it's not the perfect position, but I say to myself, I just need to make my way forward. Then we get lucky there. I try to go forward there. We're able to go forward. And we're going to go straight to this door right in front of us and do another door hop. So I don't know why I start there, because you can actually get closer if you go to the side. I don't know if I end up doing that. So like there's an invisible barrier right where I'm stuck up against there, and it's sort of like a semicircle. So I think I get pushed to the right at a certain point here. Like I sort of need to go to the wall. As you can kind of see it there, it's like it goes in a little bit closer to the actual door. And that's really risky for me to do that, because that's not a good starting door hop. But I think at this point in the run, I was just like, screw it, this is not going my way, I need to act now. That's 2 out of 3 door hops. We have 1 more to do. And this one can be either really good or really bad. So that's a good start. Then we get up, and then I think I struggle to get into over the actual trigger. So you see, we'll go forward and we'll be well over the trigger. And as soon as I get there, I just do 1 more spawn, I can go in. There we go. So if that spawn there, 9 times out of 10, well maybe more like 7 or 8 times out of 10, you just spawn in another character, hop down like that, and you'll hit the trigger. So there's the Bone Temple complete. Now we move to the Bone Bridge. This is just point A to point B. All you need to do here is keep an eye out on some traps in the area and weave around the enemies, and that is it. As you see, I get hit there. I'm not actually sure do I get hit by the trap or by the skeleton. I feel like I get hit by the skeleton. Yeah, as you can see there. Skeletons have a huge hit range, and we got to make sure we keep on the move so we don't get hit by the bridge there. I forget what those enemies are called. I can't remember. They're really cool, but I can't remember what they're called. They spawn in more skeletons. So we have to keep an eye on them as well and see where they're spawning skeletons. Look for that purple little portal on the floor to see where they spawn skeletons, because you can get stuck on them. It's very easy to get stuck on those skeletons. As you see, just maneuvering around point A to point B. we get attacked and hit there, and we want to keep an eye on the, I think they're called bone worms, or like Osauruses or something like that. I can't remember what they're called. But those worms can be a pain in the bum to deal with as well, mainly because they have a move that slows you. And we're in a speedrun, so we want to go fast, so. Risky move there, but thankfully the traps don't trigger, so I was able to ever pursue and use a potion. And once again, we're just moving around, taking a very specific path to get from point A to point B on this bridge. And we're basically at the end of it here. Gonna see another glowy and leave the area. There we go, into the Lich's Lair. And you're gonna see me lose a little bit more time here as well. This door hop we need to do, for some reason I start trying to attack the enemy guarding that door. Because there's a blood golem up ahead here. That if you kill it, it will open up the door to enter the Lich boss fight. He's basically like a mini boss. But if you just door hop, you can just skip this guy. So you see, I start attacking, I get a couple attacks in, and then immediately I start getting hit by everything else. And it's just like, I go, alright, yeah, that's why we don't do that. For some reason in my mind, I figured, oh, I'm going to try and do it today and see if it works. This door hop ends up being really good, so thankfully I decided to do this instead. Excuse me. So that's how we want to do that door hop, minus the one bad spawn. You can, in some cases, spawn straight into the fight area. The gate's like small enough, the gate is small enough that you can do that. Happens very rarely though. Then we got another door hop here straight away. This one's usually pretty consistent, but it can be finicky at times. We want to go up and get on top of the door like we have there done. We have done there, and now we want to do about roughly 4 to 5 spawns. So this, yeah, this can be a little finicky, but yeah, what we're gonna do here is drop down after we've done the 5 spawns with the character that we want to have in. You see, I start loading in the saved character to make sure I've got the right character in. I think I do one more spawn and then drop back down. There we go. Gem of Death found, 5 gems is complete. You just need the 1 gem, the Death gem, to do that. For some reason they didn't code it in so that you needed all the gems. They coded it in so you just needed the Death gem. So now we're going to enter the portal in the middle of this room. It's now been opened up by the Death gem. And he doesn't show in this cutscene, but the beholder's still here. It's quite funny actually. It's a shame that it doesn't load the beholder here, because that would be really, really funny. The portal's still there, but the beholder isn't. So the game doesn't expect that the beholder's still alive. It's really strange, because it still puts up that wall, which if you try and go run through that wall from this side, it won't let you. It's really, really weird. Just going to pay attention here, because since I got 2 characters in, sometimes the game can be annoying, and it will decide that, like, of course, player 1, the red circle there is head, so you want to move as player 1. But sometimes the dialogue box won't go away unless you press A as player 2. So it's not guaranteed that you will have the right player set up there. In older runs, I used to save and then continue running here, because for some reason, in older runs, the game would always crash here. It was weird. It was really weird. It doesn't do it now, but I mean, the game can crash anyway. It can just randomly crash on you. It's really, really frustrating at times, but we're now in the final area, or final couple areas. The entirety of this, up until we get to a particular area for the items, as you can see here, I'm setting up for one big dupe. And as you can see in the splits, the next spot thing we're doing is duping an item called the Elixir of Elixirs. That item increases all of your stats by +1. All of your stats. Your strength, your dexterity, your constitution, your intelligence, your wisdom, and your charisma. All of your stats by +1. We're going to duplicate 200 of them, and we're going to become overpowered. And just it makes the last 3 fights, which is Caden, and one mini boss fight called the Bebolith. It makes those a breeze. Not before doing the store hop, of course, which this store hop can be a run killer sometimes. It's usually okay, but like it's the same as a lot of the other gates. We want to go up, and then we want to go forward about 4 or 5 times. Now, even though we're not going straight forward, this isn't too bad. If we sort of start veering off side to side a little bit, it's not too bad. If we were to continue veering off forward and left, that'd actually be quite good here, because as you see here, I believe I end up doing it this way. I think I do one more spawn forward, and then I try to move. Unfortunately, this is where the game just sort of, you're at the mercy of the randomness of the spawns here, unfortunately. I find if you can get good momentum going forward, it likes to keep that momentum. So you can see there, even though I didn't go forward, I spawned down and into the boxes. So now since I've spawned in as a loaded character with Ever Pursuit 2, so we can move faster, I just go ahead and continue the run with that character. And I get stuck here, which is quite funny. I mean, it sort of worked out, because otherwise you get hit by one of the gargoyles there. We've got a couple of neat little rooms to run through, a couple of little traps and stuff, little puzzle rooms, I guess you want to call it, if you want to call them that. We are going to run past these armadas here. They're just here for some reason. I don't know why. I guess it's the last couple areas of the game, so the game just decides to throw all of the monsters at you. And see, that doesn't happen usually, actually, so that's quite funny to see the armada get hit. So we've got a secret hidden area there. We get a really good item drop there. That's a Rod of Miracles. That heals you back to full health no matter what HP you're at. Unless, of course, you're knocked out. But so now we save the Elixir of Elixirs there. By the way, this is where the last Soul Shard is. There we go. Elixir of Elixirs. Unfortunately, I've got so many items on me that I don't think to drop them or use them or anything. But at this point, I need to just go for it. I need to just gun for it. So now we do one of every controller, save, then we just go back to using 2 controllers. I don't know why I moved down there, that's not necessary, that's just wasting time. I think at this point I was looking at the time and I was like, yeah, it's going to be close, but I should be fine. So what we're going to do here is we're going to basically go from 1 to 4 to 20. So we go from 1 to 4, save, then we go from 4 to 20, we save, then we go from 20 to 100 and save, and then we dupe the last 100 to 200, and then we use 200 and continue on with the run. As you can see, we're finally at 20. A little mishap there where I tried to go too early, but it's fine. Once again, just go to 20. You also need to keep an eye on how quickly those numbers are adding up as well. So the way that the item, how do I explain this? The way that you increase your increments in items, so that toll there, give item, as I go from 1 to 20, sometimes it can be real quick like it is here, sometimes it can be really slow. So sometimes you have to tap 20 times to get there quickly, to get there quicker, or with like larger amounts right now, the momentum will eventually shift up to as fast as it's supposed to go, and you'll be fine. But that's just something you need to keep an eye out on. So now I'm going to spam, I didn't mention this earlier as well when I did this, but I spam both A and start here. A start counts as pressing A. So if you use both thumbs, just sit up on both the start and the A button, and just try and time it so that you're spamming them in between each other. As you can see, I get a nice little bit of momentum there. Just a little bit. It's going, still going, still going. You can kind of tell that I've got a good rhythm going there. But you just want to try and spam those in between each other. That way the menu pops up and disappears as fast as possible. There's the split. And then look at that, I'm nearly dead. For some reason I use the Rod of Miracles here, and I don't wait until I'm past these guys. But as you see there, Rod of Miracles is a very awesome item drop. Really good drop. In older runs, you're guaranteed a Rod of Miracles back at the start of the game, by the way. So in older runs, I used to item dupe that and then sell it. Sorry, item dupe that and sell it. But here it's like we don't really worry too much about it. If we get it, we get it and we use it, just so it's less of a hassle. Like we're not gonna die, but like seeing an empty health and MP bar is still a little worrying. So now we're running through this area. We're gonna go past another little puzzle. We try not to get hit by the little will-o-wisp. I try to make it hit the I can't remember what it's called, the gargoyle. But that doesn't work. Sometimes if you're fast enough, you can get to the priest and cause it to hit the priest. And these, so not priest. I'm forgetting what they're called. I'm calling them priests. They are not priests. You guys in the comment section probably already commenting, I imagine, or you already know what they are. I just Cthulhu guys. That's not right. I'm getting it wrong. I can't remember it. I'm sorry. But they love to spawn in those other big guys, and they're a pain in the ass to deal with. So we don't want to deal with them. We just try and get past them. Mind Flayer. It just came to me. Mind Flayer. This is Bebolith, by the way. So, Bebolith, we're just going to have a pursuit, get to the Bebolith, and spam attacks. As you can see, I'm using animation cancelling. This is the fastest way to do this. The fighter doesn't have any like huge moves that we can abuse, so we just have to spam the regular attack. We level up there. I go into the next area. In most runs, you get to this point, and then you'd have to unlock Ever Pursuit 2 here. But in this case, we've already got it unlocked, so now we just go to Frenzy and we unlock that. And what that does is that makes our attacks faster, and it's incredibly handy for the Caden fights. You absolutely want to be able to have Frenzy available. You absolutely want to use Frenzy on Caden. So up around the corner here, we've got Caden 1. We're going to do 3 boss fights against Caden. The first 2, we're just going to knock him down to a certain point of his HP, and then he's going to flee to the next area, and we just go chase him. He's just got this big final boss spiel here. And then we beat the crap out of him for like 10 seconds, and then he leaves. He's like, no, I don't want this. This can't be happening, and he just leaves. So watch, we put Frenzy on as well. There we go. You're stronger than I recall, and he disappears. He flees. He pussies out and he runs. Goes to the next area. Heals himself, basically, gets ready for another fight. By the way, you can do like a nearly pacifist run on this game. You could door hop past everything, basically. Skip all of the bosses and all that. And come straight to the last fight. The only fight you absolutely have to do, as far as I've been able to tell, is Caden 3. There's no way to beat Caden without just straight up killing him by your own hands. If I could figure that out, that'd be quite cool to figure out, but and it would possibly make the run faster. We got the second fight available here. I make sure to use the Frenzy beforehand, because this cutscene's so fast, and the game remembers what state you're in, so it goes, oh yeah, you still got Frenzy available. So we just quickly whack the crap out of Caden. We just tap him on the shoulder a couple times. He goes, this can't happen, and he leaves. He's so scared of us. We sneak up on him, and he goes, oh, this can't happen, and he leaves. Alright, one more fight. Check all the items and stuff. Not that it matters. We're not going to use those throwing axes. This guy can be annoying sometimes because he's got like an ice ring move. I think it's called Cloud Kill, not Cloud Kill, it's something else. Circle of Ice or something like that. Where he'll cast like a thing of ice around himself, and it'll make it so that you get hit by it, which loses us time. So again, we've just got a couple enemies to run by here. I'll just ignore them all. The gargoyles can be a real pain in the bum, but you can't really do too much about them. You just have to take the hit and continue. Try and anticipate when they're going to hit you. And there's the Circle of Cold, I think it's called, spell that I was talking about. And here's the last fight. Yes, you will be. In this particular run, I've never done this before, but I get like a really lucky 1-framer at the end of the run. So I think here is where he doesn't switch to a planar gem for some reason. So here I go into the menu and I try to unlock Improved Critical. As you can see there on the top left, Caden does not have a gem set. So now he switches to a gem properly. I take no note of this because I'm just looking at the red. I'm just like whack, 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 get the health bar down, whack, whack, whack. Keep an eye on the fighter, wait until he goes back to a normal colour. That tells me that Frenzy is finished. So it's going to happen right here. So I immediately cast Frenzy again, which I probably should have waited, but it doesn't really matter too much. The main thing is that we're set to go. We get through that ice fight in particular. That ice gem can be a real pain in the bum. Caden has a move that can just hit you once and then just keeps hitting you over and over again. And you can see right here. So cast Frenzy, attack, 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 run, done. And I'm a little bit late on the split there, but 138, I think it ended up being a 138-48. Hope you enjoyed this green screen, by the way. But 138-48 run there. And yeah, I've never had that finished to a run before, so that was pretty neat. You'll probably see that in a YouTube short in a little bit, in a couple of weeks. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Once again, like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps. Again, comment down below what your favorite hero, which is your favorite hero who you like to run as. I'd love to see that. And yeah, next run should be the Rogue. I'm going to comment over that as well. And then I've got some runs where I'll comment throughout the run because I can actually run and commentate at the same time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next run.